The opinions and views expressed by individuals during this broadcast are their own and may not be the opinions of this network, their group, or other organization they may be involved with.
Open your eyes.
Everyone, and welcome to Open Your Eye for today, Thursday, February the 8th in 2024. We are, of course, the podcast focused on the use of psychedelics as medicine to patients flying through the realm of psychedelic medicine. Myself, Kim Cooper, and the awesome joint host, Tarra Simpson in the house. How's it going, Tarra?
I'm good. How are you, Kim?
Not too bad, not too bad, not too bad. I'm stoked for the future.
I know we were just talking about this all this week. You and I behind the scenes, DMing back and forth. There's some really cool stuff coming in your future.
Yeah. I'm really excited. I'm planning my 61st birthday celebration. And I'm doing it with you.
I know.
I'm leaving my home and I'm traveling south, and I'm going to head on down to southern Ontario. And we're going to go to a place and see a band that is like one of my favorite bands out there for bar bands. And they are called My Son the Hurricane. And I love the band. And we're going to go and see them on April the 6th, which is the day after my birthday. They're playing not too far from where you live. And then prior to that, on April the 5th, my actual birthday, I have now negotiated with past guest here on the show that shall remain nameless for now. But I've arranged a DMT buffo ceremony for my birthday.
I know that's super exciting. I know you've been wanting to revisit this since our experience in Toronto a while back, and the last few times we've gotten together, we've been so busy and on the go, whether we're covering an event or at events, and so setting and time have been not on our side for you to revisit this. So that's really exciting.
I've had the product too, and that's the killer, right? It's like, okay, well, I have it, but try and pull out the time, setting, mindset, all of that kind of thing, and then facilitator, all of it. Like, it's like nothing seems to have lined up for this over the course of the last little while that I wanted to do it. So I'm making it happen this time.
I know. I'm super excited for you. That's going to be really cool. And I get to be there to see it all happen because, it's going to happen in my setting. So that's really cool that he's going to travel to us and make this all happen for you. Yeah. And I can't wait to see what comes of this one, because I was witness to your last experience, which was super cool to witness. I've never facilitated or trip sat for DMT. And I got to go through the whole process with you and see it all unfold, and even take some secret video for you so you could see what I was seeing and why I was like, that was wild.
It's a very, very cool experience. I can't wait to do it again. I've been anxious to do it again almost since right after the first one. So I'm looking forward to this happening. This time we are arranging in advance to videotape the experience, so that I will be able to cut and splice out segments of the video that is going to be taken while I am experiencing my trip. And I will be sharing certain segments and portions of said video here on the show with our audience, so that we can extend our education on what exactly is entailed with a DMT trip. And I mean, that's exactly what we're all about here on OYE, is sharing the information and spreading the education on psychedelic therapy as medicine. For me, it's for PTSD. And I mean, the last trip did wonders and threw my therapy ahead by leaps and bounds. And I expect no less this time.
Yes. Yeah. I think that this time you'll probably go through that third dose. I know last time you stopped after the second, but it was because you were good. You came back and said, I'm good. I'm good. Right where I need to be. So we'll see how far your next experience goes and what you learn on that adventure.
Yeah. Looking forward to it.
Absolutely.
Looking forward to it. Absolutely. Another thing that I'm looking forward to is tonight's guest. Tonight's guest is psychonaut extraordinaire, as well as a great friend of both joint hosts here on Open Your Eye. Jack Kungel is in the house tonight. Very experienced gentleman on the use of various psychedelics, including DMT. We're going to talk with Jack now about DMT, psychedelic therapy as a whole, and so much more on Open Your Eye's third anniversary. Forgot to mention that at the start of the show. Third anniversary. We are now entering our 4th year on the air.
That's amazing. That is amazing. Crazy cool.
Absolutely. Yeah. And to start that off, let's bring him in. Jack Kungel in the house. Good evening, my friend.
How you doing? How's everybody doing?
How are you?
I'm doing really well, thank you.
Awesome. So thank you so much for joining us on our anniversary show. 3 years now. We have 3 years as of tomorrow. This show was launched. So I mean, we're heading into 4 years of educating the public on psychedelic therapy, Jack. And I mean, you were in amongst the first handful of guests that we had on the show when we launched all those years ago as well.
And this is probably going to be my last show that I will ever do.
Oh no, why?
I'm all done.
All done?
Yes.
You're all done?
Toll. Yes, it had, what I do is it had taken its toll. So this is about psychedelics, and we might as well get right into it. So I would meet people face to face every single day. And so they sat on the other side of the table there. So I looked them right in the eye. And so in order to keep the sadness and the pain on the other side of the table, I would use mushrooms and LSD. And so I started off just with the microdose, and slowly, and it was working, but stuff started to get in. And it is really hard to look in the eye of a mother with a 4-year-old boy that's been battling lung cancer for 2 years, dealing with my drummer, his son. He was 16 years old, and that was the 3rd time that the cancer had come back for him. So he was a pretty sick puppy, and the boy didn't make it. So it gets very, very heavy carrying the weight of others people, the sadness. They're coming, usually if you are coming to see me, you're dying. And so I don't have my work cut out. You do. And then what I do is I tell you of my experience, and this is what I did. And then I bring up the psychedelics in the conversation, and their eyes just go like, oh my God. And then I explain what happens here. I says, they promote new brain cell growth. They'll help you focus on what it is that you need to do so you can stay on the program. They help the day become brighter. it's not such a sad state of affairs. When we microdose, and what happens, it slowly starts to eliminate the triggers. And what I mean by triggers is you pick up the lighter and son of a bitch, goddamn. So okay, so now you're carrying on, you pick up the pencil, and now you break the lead of the pencil. So that happens 3, 4, 5 times during the day. All of a sudden, the 6th time is the big explosion. Now you've lost it. And so now what ends up happening, you microdose, and 3, 4 weeks down the road, I need a new lighter.
That's right.
Okay? Oh, the pencil broke. I guess I got to sharpen it.
That's right.
It just helps bring things into perspective.
Yeah.
And the easiest way, so it is a very, very easy, a controlled dose is what I would do. I would use green tea, ginger, and ginseng with honey. I would take a liter of that. I would put in 30 grams of mushrooms, and I would put in 20 hits of LSD. I would put that into the fridge for 48 hours. Then it would get strained. Now I would add a half of lemon to this, because now the lemon helps the body uptake the mushroom. It enhances the effect. So now when I put that into a 30 milliliter bottle, so in that bottle of 30 milliliters is 1 gram of mushroom and 1/5 of a hit of LSD. Now in that bottle now is very easy for you to dose, because the drop is exactly the same all the time.
Right.
So in a 30 milliliter bottle, so you can regulate it, is approximately 600 drops in a 30 milliliter bottle. Right? So it's very easy. So now 1,000 milligrams of mushrooms, so 600 drops. So it's very easy for you to do the math.
Right.
And so for myself, when I was facing death, so a lot of people don't realize actually how much you can, like the La La Land, the psychedelics and the trails and all that, that is long, long gone for me.
Right.
See, because when I was dying, I was consuming 20 to 30 grams of mushrooms every single day.
Okay, we got to stop there for a second. We have to expand on that. For our listeners out there that are not familiar with who you are and your story, if they're meeting you and hearing about your story for the first time, people hear these numbers, Jack, and they go, "What? You consumed 30 grams in one hit of mushrooms?"
Yeah.
That's a lot of fucking mushrooms, Jack.
Yes, and 6 grams of pure cannabis oil at the same time.
Yeah. Yeah.
And this
you
happened.
did that for how long?
Oh boy, almost 4 months. And then all of a sudden this happened. I went from to I was focused. I saw the other side. I saw how everything functions. If I stamp my foot here, it's affected at where you live. It was felt there. So I got to see how every single thing was connected and how we're connected to it. We are so detached from Mother Earth that, I mean, it's about to purge us. We're the plague. We're the cancer on the planet. It's about to purge us. You know, and so I just like this, every single human on the planet should be microdosing right now to help you deal with the shit that's going on. I just posted a from Paul Stamets there, and it is about psilocybin and how the police officers, how everybody, but you see the problem with this is now, because it's a single fucking molecule and the motherfuckers are going to jump all over that. You see how cannabis is, there's too many molecules in that for them to muckle onto it.
Yeah.
It's going to be very easy for them to muckle onto the single molecule.
Yeah.
So I'm going to tell you this, and it's just like what they're going to do with the cannabis, because this is all in the process and make it all sterile so we can't take cuttings, and blah, blah. The exact same thing that's happened with the farmers. They're going to do the exact same thing with the mushrooms. And so, like I say, if you can grow mushrooms, grow them, because you keep that mushroom cap, thousands and thousands of more mushrooms.
That's right.
So the object here is to learn how to become self-sufficient.
Yeah.
The
spore
DMT.
prints and harvesting your spores, taking spore prints. That's mushrooms are regenerative naturally. I mean, as soon as they're dropping spores.
Yes, they're dropping spores all the time, all the time.
Yeah.
So the DMT that I used was made from the mimosa tree. It comes from a shaman. Now the DMT, I had never used that during my battle with cancer and that. So it came after, because I wanted to try it. Well, I'll tell you something. That was as close to the feeling of bliss that there can possibly be. Hey, it's just how can I? You're being embraced by the entity of DMT itself.
Yeah, just pure love.
Yes, it's incredible.
It is.
It really is. I mean, I look at it like this. Jesus Murphy, I'm going to be 71 years old here, and what do we got? The 6 couple weeks here, and I've never done so many psychedelics as I have in the last 10 years. My 16-year-old kid would, if I was 16 and looking at me now going, what the fuck is wrong with you, old man? all as I know, this is the clearest my mind has ever been. It's crystal clear. It works like a calculator. And all I can tell you is we're no longer the same old folks. We've broken the mold.
Yeah, that's for sure.
And as it should be, because it's already trickled down to my children.
That's it. Yeah.
Because I've educated them. And so it's very important that if you do learn something, share that information with somebody. And it was very important for me to do that, and for me to educate you how to do it yourself, because I won't be here forever.
That's right.
I considered myself the guy got you from point A to point B. When you got to point B, you were making it yourself.
That's right.
See, I just kind of helped you all along the way to get there. And that's all any of us do. Hey, I didn't perform any magic or anything like that. No. It's the person themselves. I'm just giving you the tools.
Yeah.
And showing you how to use the tools. This is a hammer. This is the saw. This is the knife and the fork. You're not going to eat that anymore. So just move that out. But the hardest part of it all was getting people to keep their eyes on their own plate. Doesn't matter to me what it is you're doing.
Right.
And a lot of people like the talk, and your food enhances how the psychedelics will affect you. All right. If you're constantly putting poison in, there's a lot of poison that's going to come out when you do the psychedelics. That's right. Bad juju.
That's right.
Yeah. You give the body the proper gasoline that it needs, and it's a whole different life experience, man. I can't wait to get up. My life has changed so much using the mushrooms and the LSD and the DMT. I mean, for the better. It's just brighter.
Yeah.
Right? Everything is brighter. Yeah. Life is fantastic. I appreciate every single day when I get up. I look forward to getting up, and I look forward to going to bed. I want to get up really early because I don't want to miss a fucking thing.
Right. Yeah.
I like being out there early because I'm the only one out there And I'm also the only one out there at 4:30 in the morning that just took a whole bunch of mushrooms and LSD and waiting for shit to happen. Let's go. And knowing that I healed something.
Yeah.
I didn't fry any fucking brain cells.
Yeah.
It's actually, I'm enhancing my mind. I'm opening my mind to new experiences. You know, and I just wish we had somebody when I was young that went through all this shit. Said, no, man, you don't want to do that. You just do this, you know, don't fucking drink, don't do that shit. Just do this, smoke your pot, and off you'll go. You'll be a happy camper your entire life.
Yeah.
See, for me, I've had no alcohol since 1990. All right. And so what it wasn't that it was the throwing up, but it was all the medication I was on that did it. So I just eliminated. And it was once I got rid of all the drugs, well, then I stopped puking. But it took its toll. You know, it took its toll. I lost my teeth. I was vomiting 25, 30 times a day. You know, broke 4 ribs over 300 times. You know, but it's one of those once. How can I explain that? It's very hard to get focused, no matter what it is, when you start.
Yeah.
Okay. I had no book to follow. Just like you got no book to follow. You got to make it up as you're going along.
That's right.
Okay?
Yeah.
And so when make it up as you're going along, and so here you go. Then I realized, oh boy, we won't do that again.
Yeah.
Right? But
Well, in error.
we'll add this now.
Yeah.
And so when I say we will add this, and the very first time I learned about the lemon, I always ate the mushrooms. I go, well, why don't you just throw them in your smoothie?
Yeah.
So okay, I threw them in my smoothie, not knowing what the lemon was going to do.
Oh boy.
Yeah. So I'd never taken the lemon with the mushrooms before.
Uh-huh.
So we go, and I throws a half a lemon in there. I got 2-3 grams of mushrooms in there. Right? Big smoothie.
God.
I come out here. I think I've had like about 3 sips or 4 sips, and I'm standing there. I'm going, oh, this can't be possible. I mean, so like maybe 8 minutes have passed.
Yeah. The floor is breathing.
Yeah, I shouldn't be feeling the mushrooms already. Well, Jesus Murphy, by the time I got to the bottom of my smoothie, shit was happening. And it was like, so now I'm online going, okay, what enhances the effect of was the lemon. Okay, now away we go. So then I started talking with them. So all the druggies knew that.
Yeah. It's called lemon tech.
Go figure.
Yeah.
Go figure.
Yeah. It's called lemon tech. Absolutely. You know, you touched on a few things that I want to back up. You know, you and I grew up in an era where chemicals and processed and alcohol and synthetic was the way to go. That's what was being pushed. Everybody is like, oh, but this is better. It was like a push to go away from anything natural. If it was anything natural, it was bad. Right?
It was easy. Everybody wanted easy.
Yeah.
I don't want to have to work at it. And I thought the exact same thing. I don't want to have to work on it. I just swallowed the cannabis oil.
Yeah.
That's all I did. Okay. Year later, cancer was back, went up into my kidney. Now it's sent to have my bladder, my prostate, and one of my kidneys removed because I didn't do my part then.
Right.
Right. So that's the biggest thing. And even when you do the psychedelics, you still got to do your part. Do your fucking homework before you do that shit so you understand what is about to happen to you. That is the biggest thing. I did a reset with the fella. He was a veteran. So he did all kinds of tours and shit like that. And so his job was to protect the most decorated military official we had. And he was on a special forces team that strictly dealt with aliens. So I met him through his wife because the wife's sister had cancer. So when we were done dealing with that, then I was approached by him, and he wanted to know if we could help F-disc. And I'm going, what are you talking about? So he had allowed himself to be programmed. So he wanted to know if we could F-disc the program. So I said, well, geez, Andy, I said, I really don't know, but I said, I'll get back to you on that. So I went and started to read, and I go, yeah, we can do that. Absolutely. So away we go. So now we microdosed Andy for 18 months. Then I got the phone call and said, okay, I'm ready. So that tincture that I gave him, I gave him 5 60 milliliter syringes. So of that tincture. So do the math. Okay, so there's 5, 6, 7 grams of mushrooms and 2 hits of LSD. Well, he went over the edge. Right? And I took the same amount as he did because I want to enjoy the ride. So Andy was sitting there and he was just jibber jabber, and all of a sudden he looked me right square in the eye, and this is what freaked me out, because he had tapped into my energy, and I've never told anybody about the quantum hypnosis that I had done to help me deal with the rape when I was a little boy. Well, he tapped into me, and I had never told anybody of the experience I had when I was under hypnosis and all that. And he repeated it word for word. Wow. It made the hair stand up on my neck. And that's when I realized we're connected.
We're all connected.
Yeah. And then he just collapsed down. He sat up again. He says, I think I'm going to throw up. And he goes, I already had the bucket there for him. So he threw up in the bucket. Well, I don't know if you've heard anybody with throw up right coming from the gut into a 5-gallon bucket. My God, it sounded like I had him on fucking loudspeaker outside. Back, I couldn't believe he made this much noise. Hey, and I'm looking at him, I go, wow, Andy, I said, that's a pretty good puke. I said, I used to break ribs, and he'd be looking at me puking and nodding. Yeah, me too. So it was about 7 hours later, because then he just passed out cold. So in that period, when he was out cold, a lot of stuff was going on here. When he woke up, I phoned his wife. I said, okay, he's ready to take home. And that was, it was about 8 hours. He came at 10 o'clock in the morning. That was my 10 a.m. appointment with him. And so took him home, and it was the following week was when I got the phone call. He said, Jack, he said, it's unbelievable. I goes, yeah. I said, welcome to my world. He says, what happened to him, it allowed him to step back. And now look, because he lost his entire platoon, went into the Humvee, went in. His ship got sunk. 10 of the team got ate by fucking sharks. Just blah 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 blah. And he was also raped. All of the above. And what it allowed him to do was to step back now and watch it from here. And then he realized, and this is what I realized also, is that everything is a lesson. Be it good, be it bad. Mm-hmm. It's a lesson. And that's why we're here on this terra firma, man. It's a lesson. And so this is, it is pretty amazing. So I give 2 shits how crazy people I think I am. I give 2 fucks about that.
We love you, Jack. They can think you're
I
crazy
give
all
2
day. I
fucks
want to
about that.
address
Because
the
I
audience question here. So why does lemon enhance mushrooms? Kristen, we did see it. I just didn't want to interrupt Jack. It's the citrus. It seems to work best with lemon, but I have heard that you can get similar results with almost any citrus. So grapefruit, orange, but lemon.
lemon is the best.
Yeah.
Because what the lemon does, it directs the mushroom to the neurons that are going to be affected. It just says, "Hey, come on, follow me."
Yeah, it's like the acid in the citrus. It acts as like a bus for the psilocybin to take it
drives it home instead of 45 minutes later. It's 5 minutes later.
Yeah, makes it more bioavailable.
Yeah, it gets to your brain on a bullet train rather than the rickshaw.
It really does. It blew me away.
And Jack's got some experience.
He does. Love talking to Jack. We're going to take a quick break. I see that it is medication time. So we're going to have a chance to hear about a few of the other shows here on the network. And then we're going to return with more of our conversation with the awesome, amazing guy, a friend of the show, Jack Kungel in the house for Open Your Eyes 3rd anniversary show. 3 years on the air, bringing the education to you about psychedelic medicine. Hang in there, folks. We'll be right back in about 4 minutes and 20 seconds.
That's a nice one. I'm going to show you a perfect one.
Okay. I'm gonna push the button.
Commercial break. We'll be back.
All right, you'll get it. We'll bring it back after the commercial. Stay tuned. Join us for NOK Network monthly specials, 12 months a year. Movie nights. Spotlight on entertainment. And live on location event coverage. Stay up to date about upcoming programming by subscribing to NOK Network on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and Rumble. Check out our webpage at www.noknetwork.com. Are you a Northern Ontario resident? Searching for credible information on cannabis as a medicine? No Sir is here to help. Established in 2013, Northern Ontario Cannabis Education and Resources is here for you. No Sir Director Kim Cooper brings you 45 plus years experience utilizing cannabis as a medicine and is spreading the education across the North. Activism, resources, referrals, and more at No Sir. Don't be a jackass. Say no sir to cannabis propaganda with No Sir. Find us at www.nosir.com. nocer.ca.
Put it away for 30 minutes a day on IWK. The IWK 710 Daily Sesh is a virtual gathering where consumers meet up for a toke and some laughs at 7 p.m. Eastern nightly. Originally aired on Info with Kim social media pages, the IWK 710 Daily Sesh is now also podcasted on NOK Network. Rotating joint hosts bring you a variety of content during this 30-minute virtual smoke sesh. Take a break from the stresses of life and put it all away for 30 minutes a day on IWK. Podcasted nightly at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on NOK Network.
Advertising space available at NOK. Contact us for a rate sheet at knocknetwork.com. Send us a message on our social media platforms or email us at info@noknetwork.com.
Hey, dudes and dudettes. Enjoy the show, man.
And we're back from our medication session here on Open Your Eye.
Choking on that one, are you, Kim?
I did a really big job, really close to return. And oops.
Oh boy.
It was a good medication session. Welcome back. We hope you'll tune into one of the many other podcasts that were highlighted during the break, produced and aired here on the NOK Network. Yeah, good break. I want to give a special shout out to friend of the show and person on social media platforms. Shout out to Neil Rasmussen. He's the one that did our Let's Go Back to the Show, man. All our return to the show now, all of the different character voices, they are all done by Neil Rasmussen.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, so thank you, Neil, for doing that. He did a fantastic job with his various voices. We're going to get back with our conversation with a friend of the show, friend of mine personally, an all-around great guy, Mr. Jack Kungel, back in the house.
Looks like he's got that hash rocking.
Got that hash rocking. So you found what you were looking for, apparently.
No, I wanted to show you this one.
Oh, wow.
She looks just like glass.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah. I've got that down to a science.
Nice. That looks reminiscent of Temple Ball, right?
Yes. Well, it was a mushroom day, and it was a rainy day. I was in the mood for smoking some of this.
Yeah.
So I just went online and Googled it and did one of those, read a little bit and went, oh, for fuck's sakes.
I can do that, he says.
Well, do you know, I'm going to give you a little secret. Do you know how easy it was? So I did a quick wash. That's when the light come on. I go, oh my goodness, I already have them liquid and I have them solid when I sifted it. And so you just blend it back together so that when you apply the light, it stays on the pin. So this is the ratio. Equal parts oil to equal parts trichrome makes you that.
Nice.
Yes.
Nice.
So that's the secret there.
Nice. Very cool stuff indeed. Very
So
cool.
then that means then your hash is coming in at about 74% THC.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, that's very cool. That's very cool. Frenchie Cannoli, I followed him for many years. Of course, the Hash King, and his wife, Madam Cannoli, now
He was a really good friend of my buddy Dave's.
Yeah, he's awesome, awesome individual. We had the honor of interviewing Madam Cannoli on Peace News and Views last year. And amazing individual, and such a wealth of knowledge when it comes to hash. You're a wealth of knowledge, Jack, about everything natural therapy. I mean, it's absolutely astonishing the amount of information that you were able to amass in a very short period of time. Because as you said in the first half of the show, I mean, you only began on this journey like 12 years ago.
Yes. Yeah.
So, I mean, prior to that, you were living a lifestyle much the same as any other Canadian or North American.
Yeah.
A life filled with consumption.
Yeah, it was 2010 when I had got diagnosed there.
Yeah. So, I mean, if you can do this while approaching your senior years, you were in your late 50s, early 60s when you got your diagnosis. And I mean, that's when you decided to change your life and you amass this kind of knowledge. If it can be done at that age, imagine the milestones that a young person would be able to not only overcome, but possibly, roadblocks that they could avoid.
Well, I try to set I practice what I preach.
Right.
No, I do. And so like for myself now, I've had no dead animal carcass for 13 years.
Right.
And so now this is and that was like for myself, that was the hardest thing to forgive myself for. And what I'm talking about here is when I was working, we went out on strike and I had to go work in an abattoir and we were out for a year and a half. So for a year and a half, all as I did, I killed.
Right.
Thursdays, I killed babies. And so now when I look at, here it is, I'm going on 14 years. I've had no dead animal carcass. And it's like, yeah, wow. And it wasn't until I realized, where do you get your protein from? And it was like, well, Jesus, Murphy, everything you eat contains amino acids. And when you eat them, they change the protein. That's how it works. The only thing that I had to do was take nutritional yeast because we get B12 from meat.
Right.
And so I don't eat any meat. And so that's what was low. And so so doing what I did, it took its toll on me. And I had used the psychedelics to keep the stuff there, but it was just too overwhelming. It didn't matter what it was because it was a little more different than you going to see your doctor. It's pretty cold.
Right.
And so when you come here usually most of them were never ever a cannabis user to begin with.
Right.
And so it is, start you low and slow. And then, the cannabis is brand new. And then I mentioned mushrooms and LSD. And it's like, oh my fucking God, who the fuck?
They're running for the hills, Jack. They're running for the hills, man. They don't want no part of it.
Well, it's like this, where you have no idea what you're walking into. You walk through the door, and here I'm sitting in the garage going, "Hey, come on in!" Like fuck. But when they leave, it is pretty cool because I try to be the most upbeat son of a bitch that you've ever fucking met in your life. That you need to put sunglasses on when you meet me, because you're the deer in the headlights, eh?
Right.
And so we have these tools that we can help you. And so now when you leave, I've taken all your shit and I've given you mine. And now you've got a plan of attack and you've got a little spring in your step. And now then this is where the psychedelics come in for me, right there. And then I go disperse it.
Yeah. Well, because you've absorbed all that pain, the fear, the anger, the hostility,
all of it.
Death's door is a huge weight for somebody to carry. And you're standing there in your garage, as you say, being your freaky self, saying, here, I'm gonna take it all from you. Well, exactly. Where the hell does that leave Jack?
Well, it left me passed out on my kitchen fucking floor.
Right.
Knocked my 2 front teeth out. My blood pressure had dropped into the toilet. And so what I mean by into the toilet, when I woke up, like I was diabetic and all the above. So that's the first thing my girlfriend checked was, my blood sugar. And then we checked my blood pressure. My blood pressure was down to 50 over 80. It was around 80 there, right? And then, but what had happened, it went from there to 250 over 150.
Holy jeez.
Oh, geez. It was just like, what the fuck? Eh? And
That's quite the fucking spike.
No shit. So I stepped back, and mushrooms also raise your blood pressure and all the above, right? And so I had stopped taking the mushrooms and everything. I stopped seeing people for 4 weeks. And then I met somebody. So now my blood pressure was back down to normal. I met with them. They left. I went in the house, waited 10 minutes. I checked my blood pressure and it was 180 over 100. I go, yeah, man. And so that's when I realized, yes, it's time.
But you've been doing this a long time already. You've been doing counseling patients like a decade, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's a lot of people that have come through your door with their baggage.
Thousands.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you counseled them. You saved lives. You helped with end of life. You helped where you could. No matter what, everybody that walked through that door got something out of you. And left a huge trunk on your back. And your own remedies with psychedelic therapy is all that's gotten you through that. But that can only, that's a bandage on something that you're continuing to cut.
Exactly. See, now when I use them, it's for a totally different reason.
Right.
See, I'm not trying to get rid of anything.
Right.
Now I'm trying to open my mind to enjoy.
Right. New purpose.
Yeah.
Setting, right? So new set.
Yeah, it's a totally different mindset for me now. But I tell you, it was very hard to detach. Very hard.
Yeah.
Because you want to respond. You have to.
Yeah.
And so I just, Jack, shut the fuck up. I just read it and move on.
Yeah.
And so now, but I am happy that I've stopped seeing people. I feel so much better.
Oh yeah.
I can't wait for summer to get here. See, because when I every day I would get prepared for 10 o'clock.
Right. I know. I would talk to you some days in the morning, and what are you up to? And it's like, oh, I'm getting ready. Somebody's coming, and got my appointment.
And so when what it is, and so I never knew what was walking through the door or what I was going to expect or anything like that. I'll tell you, folks, I seen some weird fucking shit. Holy fuck! The one lady, they told her she was crazy in her head, and this is a good story. And she's got all these spots and wounds on her body. And she says, and I get these crystals coming out of my eye like this. And she goes, and da-da-da-da-da-da. And I go, I said, that sounds like Morgellons. She says, my God, you're the first person. I go, so obviously you've checked. She goes, yes. And I goes, well. So I gets out my microscope. Come here. Now it goes down, and you could see the blue fibers growing. They were accusing her of self-mutilation.
Oh my God.
But it was this shit, and she would have these crystals that would come out of the corners of her eye. And I said to her, I said, look, more gallons. I go, I said, look. And so I've seen all kinds of shit. And
now, what is that from?
I have no idea.
That blue fiber is just coming out of your skin.
I think it's
environmental.
Yes.
Wow.
Because there's more people that, like, if you Google Morgellons and you go and look, it's an issue.
Yeah.
It's an issue. And so that was the first time I had seen that. And another one was the lady had these 1/4-inch holes in her back where she had put on this black salve. Do you know what the black salve is? They use it for cancer.
Okay.
It's not cannabis oil. And so we used the cannabis oil after the black salve. So the black salve, man, it brought this thing out like a worm, right to the root, brought it out completely. Well, she's got these holes. Jesus Christ, they're 1/4 inch deep. Right? Da-da-da-da-da-da. So now here we go. We does one of these with the oil.
Yeah, fill it up.
Fills them all up, puts a Band-Aid on, and looks at her. I goes, Linda, I don't know if you're going to get high here, but you might get high as fuck. Right?
You might.
I put 1.5 grams of oil in the holes.
Yeah.
Right, in open
so you
wounds,
might.
right?
That's a lot.
Boy, did she ever, just so you know. Yes, you do. She couldn't drive. My girlfriend had to go pick up her dog in Harrow. Hey, we had to walk her to the house and all the above. I go, okay, I learned something there too.
Look at that. You can get high through holes in your back.
Yes.
Well, because it's an open wound, right?
Yeah.
So
well, it's an open wound. Well, just think of transdermal patches.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But that's interesting because topicals, generally, cannabis topicals don't seem to get people high.
Strength, it's dose, right? A cannabis topicals only got a few milligrams in it.
Yeah.
You're talking about like
1.5 grams.
Yeah, she had 1,500 milligrams in her.
In her holes.
Yeah. So I mean, I guess it's amount, right? When you've got that amount
like
going.
The psychedelics. Now, my dog Jasper. Okay. So it got some mushrooms out of the fridge, and I dropped a big cap, about that big. It hit the floor while he inhaled that thing, and I go, "Oh my God!"
Oh no! Oh no!
I have no idea what's going to happen here.
Yeah, like that's scary.
Lumpy comes in. He goes, "You look like you seen a ghost." I goes, "My dog just swallowed, I think, about 1 gram of fucking mushroom." Right. Well, he said, "This should be interesting." So,
motherfucker, yeah.
We're sitting here like this, and all of a sudden, I said to Lumpy, I goes, "I think it's happening." The dog was sitting there, and all of a sudden, he just went. He was just sad, like how can that even be comfortable? We got him straight. We walked him out to his bed, and then he just laid there. That same dog, also, I did an extraction, just so you know, when people say that THC, it is not toxic to the dogs.
No, it's not. Absolutely not.
not.
I give it to my dogs.
He grabbed one of my syringes off the table, and he just chewed it. He swallowed 3 grams of pure cannabis oil.
Oh, yeah. My dogs are canna hounds. I have 2 dogs that seek it out. You cannot leave anything down. They will fucking eat it, and they know what's going to happen.
My boxer was bad for that too. He got 2,200 milligrams worth of THC in an edible form. And 4-day weed coma on the floor, tripping balls, and syringe feeding him little bits of water because I had to keep him hydrated. Yeah. But he was fine. And you know what? He never did it again. Yeah. After that, I think he learned.
And Sonny's the opposite. He ate copious amounts. He broke into a cabinet to eat copious amounts of cannabis on purpose. And when he was out of his weed coma in 3 days, he went to look to try and break into the cupboard again because he wanted more. Right. So I mean, yeah, some dogs will seek it out.
Mine does.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well,
anybody says it's toxic for dogs, you don't know what you're talking.
No. So what I do, like for my animals, and so I have a THC that I put into salmon oil, and then also CBD. I blend it in, and so. But once I got it all mixed, and then I have these liver treats, and I spread all the liver treats out, and I just.
Yeah, there you go.
Anytime that he gets something, it's medicated, eh? Yeah. So I try and keep it in my animals all the time.
Yeah.
I know.
I used to think that it was only good for adult dogs and senior dogs and not so much for the puppies and that. But I have over the years changed my thinking on that. And now my baby, my Satini, he gets it every day. And I see the health improvement even in him. I mean, he's a happy, healthy dog. And they all get their dose
6 weeks old. Josser's been on it since he's 6 weeks, and the kitten too, right away. And within a week with the kitten, you could feel it on the coat.
Yeah.
It just became softer.
100%. They just feel better. We're almost out of time, Jack. To end it all off, you're gone into retirement. You say this is your final show, podcast that you're going to do. I'm honored that you chose us for this revelation, but I am sad that we won't be having you back on again in the future. What's your plan? It's all about Jack now from here on in, right?
Yeah. I'm going to go play with my toys.
100%. Nice. And well deserved.
Yeah, play my flute. Yeah.
Amazing.
That's awesome. That's so awesome.
Amazing. You are an amazing individual, Jack. And I mean,
I'm just a guy in a garage, man.
I look forward to getting together with you on a personal level at some point in the future.
Well, I'm as far as you can go in southern Ontario, Kingsville.
Yeah.
Can't go any further south.
Yeah. Maybe one day this summer when I make another trip out to Tarra's place, we'll take a drive out to your neck of the woods. It's closer for her from her place than it is for mine.
Well, you're going to come down here, and it's the largest cannabis growing area in Canada.
I see your morning walks with
all those lights lit up. That's them.
With no darkness.
Yeah,
you never have nighttime there. That's horrible.
No.
Yeah,
it's never night. It's
That's
never
terrible.
nighttime, and everything suffers for that. And that's very unfortunate.
Yeah, 100%. Final thoughts, Jack. We've reached the portion of the show we like to call shout out time. I thought I'd leave it with you for final thoughts on if people are embarking or curious about utilizing psychedelic therapy. What would your words be to them? If somebody that came to you and said, "What do you think of my idea?"
Well, what I would do is I would talk with somebody that has used them before. And have them explain exactly so that you don't go into it blind, because it is pretty fucking scary if you don't have any idea what's about to happen to you. They are safe. You just need to know how to use them. It's like everything. Use it wisely, and then you get benefit.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. And Bannister and Carolyn Badura both say thanks, Jack, and enjoy your retirement. Puff, puff, pass, and cheers from Carolyn as well. Absolutely. You deserve to enjoy your retirement, my friend. You have done amazing amounts of counseling services and helped countless amounts of people both one-on-one in person as well as out there on the airwaves, just through what you do and educating the public and sharing that information through social media on your own, as well as doing interviews with people like me and others that are out there spreading the education about natural therapy. I, for one, thank you for just being Jack.
Thanks for having me.
That.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me. You guys, you do come for a visit. You got to come down when we play.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I would love that. Yeah.
Okay, so we in September, we play at the Pelion Winery here for the Labor Day weekend on a Sunday. And it's usually a really good gig. So it's the name of the band is Jack's Garage, and there's 10 of us in the band.
Nice.
That's incredible.
And so I'm going to give my band a plug because we've been together 18 years. And so for the last 14 years, not one of the band members have taken a single penny. We've put it into a kitty, and we've helped sick people with it.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Incredible.
That's pretty cool.
amazing.
That's what makes it more
Check 'em
fun
out.
for us when we go play. It's not about the coin. We go to play music.
That's
awesome.
amazing.
Go and check out Jack's Garage, both the documentary as well as the band and the man himself on social media platforms everywhere. Check out Jack Kungel and follow along with this amazing individual's life happenings. Thank you, Jack, for joining us here on our 3rd anniversary show of Open Your Eye. You're on the
And
NOK.
I did it in my pajamas.
in your mushroom shirt pajamas. I absolutely love it. It's an awesome kimono. I absolutely love it. And
That's
Jack
retirement.
Pajama kimono. We hope we've opened the doors for you to find out more and expand your curiosity level on a host of psychedelic plant, herbs, and fungi. And maybe, just maybe, open your eye. We will be back again next week with another very special guest here on the NOK Network. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Have a great weekend. Peace out.
Open your eyes.